in a tweet with over 157 likes that just got made by me. I say, bruh, all fans ask for is accurate translations. The heck is wrong with these people? Check it out. The tweet's already pushing up to over 217 now. Yeah. But anyways, what I'm about to show you, in my opinion, is absolutely insane. If you've been keeping up with all of the localizer news, you'll be able to understand this very easily. And if you haven't been keeping up with the news, well, you should be able to understand this pretty easily still regardless. I'll link all the segments in the description for you if you'd like to catch up. Ultimately, just know, as mentioned in the tweet that I made, this is literally just fans asking for accurate translations, and apparently this is the response by localizers and those supporting inaccurate translations. You ready for this? I hope so. So in Exhibit 1, we have this person making a thread on Twitter that reads,
"This is why the anti-localization rhetoric is concerning to me. You may think it's just a handful, very small accounts, but big YouTubers believe this BS. The video has over 17,000 views already. They're spreading propaganda for angry, lonely boys looking for someone to blame. You may think they're funny and cringe, and sure they are, but this sort of thing can spell real-world consequences, especially for women. Even now as I type this, I'm worried the wrong people will see it, and I'll become a target."
Once again, literally all fans asked for is accurate translations. I have no idea how fans asking for such caused her to come to so many unreasonable conclusions, though considering she posted all that despite her alleged concern, perhaps she doesn't believe her own nonsense. And by the way, according to her bio, she's a JP to English game and anime translator. I'll also add, if she's calling my video propaganda, that's absurd. Fans have a concern about mistranslations based off evidence of such occurring, and we have seen other localizers defending the abuse of the intellectual property. I showcased the concern, the evidence, and the responses from corpos who mock the fans. It's not propaganda, it's fact. Anyways, let's continue.
"In my opinion, it's part of something bigger. This ties into the culture war crap people have been trying to propagate for the last decade online. It's literally fascist hate groups by this point. They operate off the same playbook, with compatible dogma. A bunch of insecure, xenophobic white incels who need to believe there's this grand woke conspiracy trying to, I don't know, keep them from getting any. I searched getting any, and I was like, yep. 100%. It's hard to just say it without sounding like a nutty conspiracy theorist, but it's true. All it is another recruitment method for them, just like Gamergate was, just like the Vic stuff, just like the defamation trial, all of it. Hey, you're complaining about censorship in Persona? We are too, pal. Come chat with us in our Discord. Whites. Those localizers are the real racists. We're defending Japanese culture."
Yeah, as my tweet said, bruh, what? All fans asked for is accurate translations, and somehow they turned that into all of this. We got one more, and arguably it gets even more insane. The next person says,
"Sometimes I find myself worrying that these folks are going to start trying to..."
I'm not even going to repeat that, man. Are you serious? I'm going to sound like a broken record. All fans asked for is accurate translations, and you're saying that? Like, bro. And how does that dude not see that they're the ones that sound like they're all worked up? I mean, literally no self-awareness at all.
You can also draw a straight line from Gamergate to this anti-localization stuff, with the Vic fiasco and Deb vs. Heard sitting in between. What do all of these movements have in common? Woman in the crosshairs. Yes, thank you.
And that's the full tweet that I made compiling that stuff. It's now at over 340 likes. And if you're finding this segment to be interesting, informative, or valuable in some way, please consider liking the video and or subscribing to this channel. And we're not done yet. I now present to you Parallax, a man who's known for his desperate attempt in trying to cancel me, and for saying extremely creepy lines like, "I just want you to understand, he doesn't deserve any of you." Oh, and by the way, it later came out that pretty much every talking point he used in his video on me was taken from a Man Silly rally that later got exposed for preying on a child. Wonderful group of people we got here, isn't it? Anyways, the reason I'm bringing Parallax up now, though, is because his tweet is another example of how bizarre people who defend corrupt corporations and abusive localizations seem to be. He once again completely misrepresents my video in his tweet, similar to how the others were as well, though that's pretty par the course for how Parallax operates. He goes on to say,
"Of course those types of YouTubers never bothered to read up on more context of the situation. They dogpiled someone from the localization team under the false pretense that they're going to turn Persona woke. They're grifters. They thrive on outrage and nothing else."
His take is complete nonsense. I'm sure I read up on more context to the situation than he did. He once again sounds like he doesn't even know what he's talking about. Fans are simply concerned about Katrina's involvement in Persona as a localization coordinator due to her prior takes defending inaccurate localizations. Before that, he also tried to make it sound like I have some goal of getting people outraged, when the fact is, fans are concerned about mistranslations, and I've reported on such. Why is it that they accuse the fans of being outraged while they actually sound outraged, going off on these bizarre rants? And his attempt to call other people grifters is once again laughable. The fact is, and you can look at the analytics yourself, my localization videos tend to do poorly compared to my other videos. I literally take a financial hit covering localization stuff because I could be using that time and energy to cover something that will get more views and therefore more revenue. Yet I still cover localization segments because I find it to be an important topic, even despite the fact that it's not the best move from a business perspective. So quite the opposite of grifting, but he's welcome to continue accusing people of such, as he actually fits the definition of grifter himself. By the way, he asks people to pay him money for the deceptive takes that he makes. Anyways, this is about where we'll start wrapping this up. I hope you found this segment to be interesting. In my opinion, it sure is bizarre how these localizers, corpos, and their defenders act in response to fans simply asking for accurate translations. Let me know what you think though. As always, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in the comments and in the next segment.